On June 12, 2024, in early morning...
Can people hear the audio?
Yes, we can. Please make it full screen. That would be good.
Morning fire broke out at a residential building in Mangaf in Kuwait's arm.
Sandeep, you're saying something?
Can you please check if recording is on the cloud? Whoever is the host.
Recording is on.
Housed 196 male migrant workers of the NBTC group. Most victims died of smoke inhalation, while others were fatally injured from falling. Experts now warn that a similar disaster is looming in Bengaluru's rapidly growing PG slums. In the heart of Bengaluru's IT industry, Whitefield, illegal and unregulated PGs are a ticking time bomb where fire and safety regulations are ignored and thousands of lives are at risk. The demand for affordable housing for young IT professionals has fueled the unchecked growth of these PGs. Areas like Prashant Layout, White Rose Layout and Nallurhalli Road are overcrowded with hastily constructed buildings with little concern for safety.
What we are seeing is the outcome of failure of the state to regulate development. This is basically unplanned development. One, because all the layouts that you see these PG slums in are illegal layouts. So basically they are created without approvals from BDA. So they don't have BDA layout approval. So how do they still create these layouts? What they do is these people just take a random piece of land, they cut it up into multiple pieces, basically bifurcation of the sites as they call it. But they don't provide all the amenities that a BDA approved site will have. Therefore, these sites become crowded, narrow streets, no amenities, it'll be overburdened basically. So that's why it becomes a slum.
In once peaceful residential layouts designed for family living, the population has exploded. In some areas, the number of people living in PGs has increased the population by up to 25 times, overwhelming local infrastructure. In layouts like Prashant and De Silva, new PG buildings are being constructed with alarming speed, side by side, with barely a foot between them. The lack of fire safety measures means that in the event of a fire, it could easily spread from one building to the next.
Hey, Arvind, there are people who are still speaking. Can you mute them, please?
Endangering hundreds. Adding to the danger is a loophole in the Karnataka Fire Force Amendment Act of 2023, which mandates fire safety approvals only for buildings over 21 meters in height. Many PGs are being built just under this limit, avoiding the regulations meant to protect residents.
I think they all sit within the 21-meter, limit, so that nobody can question them on fire NOCs. If you look at it, almost all of them are about the same height, and this keeps them away from fire NOCs. And fire NOC being the one which is the most stringent of the NOCs that builder has to obtain before getting approval, it makes it easy if the fire NOC is out of the window.
BBMP admits that its control over these illegal PGs is limited.
The problem is that in that area of Mahadevpura, etc., most of them are revenue layouts. They do not even bother to take the NOC because they know that they cannot be given a building plan. So they have all B khatas, their revenue side. So they are just mushrooming. We are saying as if closing our eyes to the issue, saying no, we can't give, it is illegal building, we can't give anything. So you are B khata, you can pay the property tax, but we cannot legalize it. It is not a building. So they continuously keep on building any number of floors they want because they are not bothered.
Yeah.
And they don't have to get an OC or something. So they have all become illegal that way.
So what's the solution to this?
We have to close those illegal ones. We have to do something and close it.
In these overcrowded layouts, even a small fire could prove deadly. Emergency vehicles would struggle to navigate the narrow streets. The danger isn't hypothetical. It's real, and it's growing every day. In the event of a fire, experts predict a domino effect. The buildings packed together with no fire exits and narrow access roads would create a disaster of unimaginable scale. Residents fear that hundreds could be trapped in a fire with no way out.
See, tech has been the boon and bane of Whitefield. This issue of PG slums is very, very disheartening and depressing, to say the least, because what it does is, first of all, it encroaches on my easement rights, my light, my right to privacy, my right to lighting, air, everything. Now, my one question is this: being a honest tax-paying citizen, why should I waste my productive hours running after government officials to do their job? Why should I pay my tax-paid money to lawyers? They should have a write-off that when I'm asking government guys to do their work by only going to the court, that's the only way these guys listen. I should get a write-off for it. It's very, very disheartening, and no one seems to bother about the health hazards of having these PG slums. What happens if there's a fire? How are they going to curtail it? There's no setback, there is nothing, absolutely.
Despite repeated pleas from residents, the authorities have been slow to act. Residents are demanding urgent measures before it's too late. So the unchecked rise of unauthorized PGs in Bengaluru's IT hubs like Whitefield is a disaster in the making. Without stronger regulations and swift government actions, the safety of thousands hangs in the balance. For South First, this is Nolan Pinto.
Bengaluru is in the midst of a crisis.
Well, no, that's enough, Arvind. Am I audible?
You are Sandeep.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes, you are.
Oh, thanks, Arvind and Sai, for pitching in. I was at sea. I was really lost. Actually, the gentleman who set up the meeting unfortunately stuck in the office meeting of his own. And I thank all of you for having exercised patience and put up with our technical challenges. I welcome everybody. We have about 25 participants today, which is great. I'm sure every one of you is a concerned, motivated citizen of Bengaluru who wishes to do something to improve, change the situation as it exists. First and foremost, I'd like to ask, I'd like to thank Mr. Umapati if he's joined. Mr. Umapati, have you reached home? Yes. All right. Thanks. Yeah. Mr. Umapati is a leading lawyer in Bengaluru who's from Lex Group. He has initiated various public interest litigation. He has kindly consented to be with us here today to interpret laws and rules that the BBMP is supposed to enforce. At the same time, we also have, I'm wondering if we were supposed to have Rajshekhar. Have you joined us, Rajshekhar?
Yes, he is there.
Yeah. Rajshekhar, can you hear us? He was supposed to be on a flight to Delhi. He was also a last minute. Okay. So if Rajshekhar is not able to hear us, we will.
Yeah, Sandeep, I can hear you, but I can't talk because I'm almost leaving. That's right.
Oh, I see. Okay, fine. All right. Okay, then.
Yeah.
You said your colleague might join us, right? Is he joining?
Yeah.
Who's that? Mahesh.
Mahesh, yeah.
Mahesh is there?
Yes, Sandeep, I'm here.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. All right. So, Mr. Mahesh and Mr. Umapati will help us to kind of navigate the framework of laws and things of BBMP. Arvind, am I able to share my screen? Oh, I think I can.
You should be.
Yeah. Is everybody able to see my screen? So, roughly, this is the agenda for today's meeting. First, we'll have a quick look at bylaws that could prevent, I mean, the illegal buildings mess, as it were, in Bengaluru. The recent incident, the collapse of a building, which reportedly after 3 notices were issued and a demolition order issued, and construction was continuing, is what we're told. This is a situation that's playing out throughout Bengaluru, and literally whenever we citizens complain about an illegal building, we are told that a notice has been issued, a second notice is issued, a third notice is issued, and then we see the building construction continue. And we are trying to figure out what exactly is the law. I mean, if officials are not being respected, laws are not being respected, then we have a serious situation. So we'll start with the bylaws itself, and then we'll go to circulars regarding illegal building. Many of you might be aware that there is an unauthorized buildings public interest litigation that is ongoing in the High Court, and which is the trigger for a lot of these circulars issued by PBM. And we'll try to figure out if this entire exercise by the PIL and by the repeated circulars that are being issued by BBMP is a wasted exercise, and if they have no impact on the ground. The problem is so severe, especially a lot of you might be residing in the central business district. You might not even be aware what's happening. If you go to the peripheral areas of the city, the kind of growth that's happening completely unplanned is so extreme that every ward might have anywhere between, I'm just taking the example of Whitefield ward. We have an active shadow Whitefield ward committee group, and we have committees within it. One is for illegality, and we are tracking the kind of illegal construction that's going on. Right now, in every, it looks like at least Whitefield ward alone, there are anywhere between 500 to 1,000 constructions going on. They are ongoing. What has been completed could run into 1,000. So that's a kind of extreme violations that are going on. And then we'll also look at how notices are issued, and we also have this conflict in hierarchy because the devolution towards the zone is not complete, and a lot of officials don't respond to even the zonal commissioner and joint commissioner. Okay, so I'll first go to. So there's one particular bylaw that is particularly of interest to this domain, and so apparently under the bylaws, it is mandatory that the building plan approval has to be displayed publicly on the wall of the site that is under construction. In fact, I remember reading the this must be it. See, this is the format of a building plan approval that is issued, and it says with the issue of the building plan approval is subject to a copy of it being displayed at the work spot. So if it is not on display, the license itself is cancelled. So literally, we don't see this display of building plan approval at construction sites. So one, if it is issued, there is no display, therefore violations happen. If there is a public display of a building plan approval, then public will be able to scrutinize whether the construction is going on as per plan, and therefore it might discourage people from violating the building plan approval, which is not happening at the moment. Even the UDD model bylaws say the same. It has to be displayed at a conspicuous place on the exterior wall or fence near the entrance. So since this is not happening, literally, if you read the letter, the way the plan approval is issued, it literally says that if it is not displayed, then the building plan is cancelled because it's subject to its display. Moving on, yeah, Mr. Mr. Umapati, would you have anything to say on this? And Mahesh also. Both of you can come in anytime. Mr. Umapati, can you hear me? Arvind, can you please unmute Mr. Umapati?
I can ask them to unmute. They'll have to unmute themselves.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Umapati, are you able to hear us?
Okay, I'm audible, sir.
Yes, sir. So on this display of building plan approval, what is your opinion?
Sandeep, now you are quoting certain bylaws,
yeah,
which is apparently to be taken from the UDD website, no?
The first half is UDD website. The second one is actually from BBMP bylaws.
No. Okay, that's good. Okay, now
BBMP bylaw.
Okay.
2003.
Okay, now Sandeep, what is happening legally now? We have been stuck up because of this new BBMP Act 2020.
Okay.
Now, the BBMP Act 2020 clearly says Section 2.8.
Okay.
As per Section 2.8, bylaws should have been approved under the BBMP Act, which has not yet been done till date. Under Section 238 of the BBMP Act, this bylaw should have been enacted by the BBMP, which is not in place, sir. Hence, based upon your bylaw, which is only a model bylaws.
No, sir. The model bylaws is what is there in the first two screenshots.
Yeah.
So,
correct.
The third and fourth screenshot are part of the BBMP bylaws 2003.
2003. Now it is, according to me, it is not in existence because of the new BBMP Act.
So we don't have any bylaws, is what you're saying.
Yeah,
right now,
yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
In that case, it should not issue building plan approvals. No?
Yeah. They should not issue, but under Section 238, they should adopt this bylaws. Section 2.8 of the BBMP Act clearly says it has to be enacted under the BBMP Act, any bylaws.
My question is very simple, sir. Do we have a bylaws in existence now, or don't we have anything?
No. As per the BBMP Act, we don't have.
Okay.
Mr. Umapati, I have a question.
Yeah, madam.
I think in the BBMP Act, it also says that if a particular rule or bylaw has not been framed under the BBMP Act, the earlier one will continue to operate. Is that not part of the BBMP Act?
Yeah, madam. That is with reference to transitory provision. You were saying about the Section 375. Okay, no.
I'm not sure. I thought if there is any rule missing, the earlier one, whatever was in place, that continues to apply to BBMP. That's what I thought.
No. In that case, no. Everything can be assumed that it was not there in the previous act. So it has to be incorporated. So
under
in order to
under KMC Act, there must have been something, no? That should continue.
Yeah, madam, it has to be continued, but since there is no bylaws enacted by because wherever certain provisions are not made in the BBMP Act, no, then a transitory provision will come into the effect. No, as per Section 2.8, bylaws should have been adopted by the BBMP by this time, because already it is nearly more than 3 to 4 years from the enactment of the BBMP Act.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there is a time limit for framing the new bylaws.
No. There is no time limit. By this time, they should have been adopted, madam.
So, in case they have not done it, what happens? Under what law is the BBMP issuing building plan approval? Because they come under the bylaws, isn't it?
They're not issuing
definitely.
sanctions, right? That's why people are building whatever they want. And if there are no bylaws, then people are doing whatever they want.
Yeah,
No,
that is the problem. That is a legal lapse.
So let me pitch in, as Mr. Umapati rightly said. Of course, as it is, the council has not adopted any bylaws. Okay, under the new act, BBMP Act 2020. But some transitory provisions, or we cannot say that nothing is there. Of course, vacuum cannot exist, and as Madam Shanti rightly pointed out, nobody will be knowing the technical glitch or the legal aspect of it, that nothing is there. Let us presume for the time being, as rightly said by the other participant, that whatever was there prior to the new act, 2003 act, what Sandeep is quoting, those things perhaps will continue, even though it is not specifically mentioned that the transitory provisions are there or not. Otherwise, as one lady rightly pointed, we cannot have any sanctions, any building plan approvals. There will be sort of a
Okay. So I
collapse
guess
of the
we'll
whole
have
system.
to request for a clarification on that, maybe
Yeah,
from
please,
the
please, please.
zonal commissioner or somebody
I
else.
think it has to continue, whatever is there till it is overridden by the new act or something like that. Mr. Umapati will be the right person to look into it. We cannot have
See, okay. I want to add one more thing here. Whatever the section 375 is there, no,
transitory.
that is a transitory provision which will come into effect, okay, from the date of commencement of this act and before the that means enacted on the matter, but the further before the date of commencement of this act and in force on the date of commencement of this act. To the extent they are not inconsistent with the provision of this act. That means in between the KMC Act is repealed and the new act is coming, no, 2020 Act. In between something has been there, that section of 375 is going to adopt. That was, I was appraised during the last hearing by the government advocate.
But
While hearing the PL.
Let me intervene, sir. I think some of the sections or some of the provisions might not take effect immediately unless they are approved by the council, so to say. As rightly said, council is not in situ. So those older provisions or earlier provisions will not be ineffective. They will still continue till the new act or the few sections or provisions of the new act come into picture, take effective.
That's correct. But Sandeep, there was no 2003 BBMP Act. It was only a KMC Act. KMC Act provision is to be treated as a transitory provision.
Yeah.
No, sir. What I was referring to was not Act. I was referring to the BBMP bylaws 2003.
Okay.
That
okay. According to me, that bylaws was constituted under the KMC Act.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. Now we have to, one of the agenda should be that before the Resident Welfare Association should be to force the government to enact the BBMP bylaw under the BBMP new act so that there will be a clarity.
Correct, correct.
That would be your one of the main agenda should be by the Resident Welfare Association or Citizen Active Group.
Yes, yes. Sure.
So perhaps a representation or petition should go from all the citizens that whatever may be the size of the site or the building to be constructed, it has to invariably display. Of course, the provisions are there, the act is there, but it is not being implemented. Whom to blame? Nobody is there. Nobody will take the responsibility. Those who are supposed to take are those who are supposed to be answerable to the citizens or residents, and it's very difficult for even the residents or even the citizens to fight in each ward or something. It should be they are supposed to do on their own, and it should be done. It should be a near automatic process. We need not demand or we need not pitch in with such a demand.
But the only problem is that, you know, if they're going to start making new bylaws, then they will obviously take into consideration the thousands of illegal buildings and tailor-made the new bylaws to suit everybody. You know, how do we fight something like that?
The real problem is about the implementation of the provisions of the act or the rules or bylaws. Nobody is there, and of course, maybe a directive or a direction from the court saying that whatever is there should be strictly made practicable and implementable. Then only I think we can put a stop to these things.
I just want to intervene. I'm Pushpa here to say that when such an act is going to be, we are demanding for it or asking for it to be enacted, we should actually insist that some penal provision should be also put in for any kinds of abdication of duty, corruption, and any of those other things like incompetence, etc. Because that is something that was not there at all in the previous act, from my information.
Mr. Umapati has actually been filing PILs to get the BBMP to make a list of penalties and punishments for officials.
Yeah, it should be included in the act.
Mr. Umapati, do you want to weigh in on that?
If it should be if it should be included, then again the act has to be amended. I don't think so. Rules can be framed. Okay, we can ask them to frame or draft the rules so that these practical issues are taken care of.
Subho, now my interviews are here. Under the games, I am when I am speaking, my picture is not coming. No, I am not.
Yeah, some other picture is coming.
Yeah.
That's okay, sir. We can hear you. Yeah, now we can see you.
We are seeing. We are getting you, sir. We are getting you.
Okay. No, sir. Under the Games Act, there was a specific provision under Section 321B of the Games Act, which provides for punishment of judicial officer for failure to prevent the unauthorized construction. Okay. The rule was not there. So we moved a public interest litigation before the Honorable High Court. Then after the notice, everything is issued. Then they came up with the rules. Now, under Section 321B of the Act, Games Act, the punishment was prescribed. But after that, since the new Act has come into picture, no, that the corresponding provision under the BBMP Act is Section 252 of the BBMP Act. But there is no, that means penalty prescribed till date. Okay, now when we move the same memo, is a government advocate again saying the transitory provision under Section 375 of the BBMP Act, stating that whatever the prescribed under the KMC Act will be applicable in case of BBMP Act.
Okay.
That is the present status.
Yes, that is what I also thought.
Yeah.
The other point is, under the BBMP Act, no rules have been framed, is it?
Yeah.
Because a bylaw will come only after rules are framed.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, that's right, madam.
Is there any example of what the punishment is? I mean, even in the previous law, I mean, what is the quantum of money? You know, is it even a deterrent, or these guys make so much that, you know, they don't mind?
No. Here, in the previous act, under that is 321B of the Games Act, the punishment is not much deterrent. Okay. It is only monetary, this one, madam, what we call penalty. Okay. Penalty will be, I think it will be for the first time, it is 25,000. 25,000 for the first time, but not more than 50,000. For the second instance, she shall be levied with a penalty of not less than 50,000, but not more than 1 lakh. But under the third and every subsequent instances, the Commission shall initiate a further proceedings under Section 98. That is disciplinary proceedings. Hence, there is not much deterrent punishment prescribed under even under the previous KMC Act.
Totally.
In your PIL, the list of punishments they had submitted to the High Court. What happened to that list? Because they
no. See, there are two aspects here. First, they issued a draft notification inviting objection, under which there are number of penalties clauses under different section were incorporated. But when we after receiving the public objection, no, hardly there were a few public objection from the public.
Okay.
And more from the public servant side, that will be BBMP officials, contractors, all these. So government diluted the provision and limited only, restricted only 321B, leaving other offences mentioned in the KMC Act.
Oh, you mean to say that they use the process of public consultation?
Yeah, that is mandatory. That is mandatory. Yeah, they have to invite the public objection, and they will consider. Since there were not much public consultation, that means public objection from the citizens, obviously there were, that means impose a lesser penalty to the erring BBMP official.
That sounds very funny. Why should they consult the public when they're issuing a list?
No, that is a democratic process. No, whenever they want to impose certain laws, they invite the objection.
But, does it mean all the punishments that are prescribed under all the laws are subject to public consultation?
No, not all. Only when it was specifically mentioned, there is a specific. There would be a specific provision that these rules can be implemented only after inviting public objection. After considering this, they can make a new rules like that. It is not in each and every act.
So now we are in a limbo regarding punishment. Nobody is getting punished. There are not enough deterrents, right?
Now, just today I saw some bylaws spelling out some punishments. And I think Som Thomas had even reacted to that. And in that, I saw that the punishments are being given only for the architects and also the owner of the building. There are no punishments prescribed for the officials. And Som Thomas, I saw his objection being filed that no official, the jurisdictional officials, there's no punishment for them at all prescribed in that bylaw, which was put out for public consultation. I think the last date was 30th of September or something for the objections to come.
So Som Thomas, is he in the call?
I don't think so.
Don't
No,
think
he's
so.
not.
Sandeep.
Okay. Okay, then we will have to ask Mr. Som Thomas.
Yes,
Has anybody else come across these?
Pushpa may have come across. She is in that WhatsApp group.
Pushpa, are you on the call?
She was there.
Yeah, Pushpa, can you hear us?
I think Pushpa is here.
Yeah. Pushpa, can you unmute yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm here, and
Have you come
I
across the
actually
notification? Yeah.
come across.
The notification Mr. Som Thomas was speaking of about punishment.
No, yeah, I saw it, and but what I was thinking is, when they call for this public feedback, that itself has to be a very transparent exercise. Otherwise, it can be just an eyewash, and then they say not many people responded, and the officials are all for this, and that is what we are putting in. So I think this time we should really make sure that we get in the proper penal provisions into the act itself. Otherwise, things will just continue as they've been doing for decades now. I've been seeing how really serious crimes committed by some of these even cooperators and all has just been given a sort of like they've been caught red-handed, and then they are just suspended and come back after a few months of maybe a nice holiday, and they get back their arrears and everything. Officials also. So I think that we have to be very clear about penal provision.
When was the notification was invited, madam, calling for objection from the public?
I didn't see that, but what Katyani
No,
is
according
talking
to our
about.
knowledge, there is no such kind of notification, madam.
Let me try to find it from the WhatsApp group.
Okay, madam. Katyani, madam, can you call up Som and ask him?
Okay.
That might be quicker, right?
Actually, just before I joined here, I was having a little difficulty, so I tried to call Som, but he didn't answer. So I don't know if he's in town or he's busy at work or something.
I'll just try and call him 1 minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, item number 4, what you have written is punishment and penalties to be prescribed under the BBMP Act. Serious penal provisions for corruption, dereliction, inaction, ineptitude need to be acted.
Incompetence. Incompetence also.
Incompetence.
And public participation in deciding in helping to decide these.
That is anyway mandatory, right?
Did not put that down.
Nay, I feel that this is their loophole.
No.
This public
Okay.
participation. because
They
it
use
can
that as an
give them an
excuse.
out to decide what they want to do.
I have a question. Where is it clearly mentioned about this public participation and consultation?
Yeah, I've also never
Law
heard of
really says that there is not. I have not come across anything like that. Can Umapati sir please enlighten us?
Madam, that was under the Games Act 321B, madam. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, there may be a specification that any new rule to be amended or modified, they can only do after inviting objection from the public. That is the reason why they invited the objection. Otherwise, they would not have gone, because that is a tougher job for the government, because they have to receive objection, they have to consider each and everything. So there would be one specific clause under the Games Act. That is the reason why they invited the objection. Now we have to come to the BBMP Act. Now KMC Act is no more applicable to our BBMP. So that is a more focus we have to make on a BBMP Act, wherein section 104 of the BBMP Act clearly says that punishment for corporation officers and other employees. Very specific section is there under section 104 of the Act, BBMP Act, which is not yet been implemented by the government.
Okay.
It is in the Act.
Okay, now. What?
It is in the Act.
Yeah, under the Act, BBMP Act, yeah.
What does it say?
Section 104. Every corporation officer or the other corporation employee shall be liable to have his increment or promotion withheld, or to be censured, reduced in rank, compulsory retired, removed, or dismissed for any breach of any departmental rules or regulation, or of a discipline, or for carelessness, unfitness, madam was telling, no, unfitness, neglect of duty or other misconduct by such authority as may be prescribed. This prescribed is not yet done. As may be prescribed. This prescribed should be done by the way of rule.
By such authority means who? Their immediate superior? Or
No. That has to be prescribed. That means it may be a general commissioner, it may be a commissioner, it may be a chief commissioner, it may be a UDD secretary. It is left to the government. It has to be prescribed.
Yeah, this is what has not been done, and that's why for so long it's been going on like this.
No. There are many provisions of that which has not yet been enacted, madam. Not only this section 104, and also there are section 105 is also there corresponding to this one. And according to me, section 325 of the BBMP Act should also be looked into, because in the previous act there was a separate security force was there, corporation security force under the KMC Act, so that their duty was to ensure that no illegal construction is going to take place.
BMTF.
No. BMTF is different, sir. Later on it was enacted.
But this is KMC, so again it's not valid.
Yeah, exactly. Corporation security. Now, the BMTF Act was also given the duty of seeing that no violation is taking place. They would have given the power of the police, and also it was designated as a police station. Now, by way of certain amendment, they withdrawn all the, that means executive order, they withdrawn all the powers of the BMTF. Now it is also a toothless body.
Yes.
So, in fact, ADGP of the BMTF, when we visited last time, he has given one letter saying that, see, our power has been withdrawn, and we have given letter to the UDD, that means the government, but they have not yet acted upon. This is also one of the reasons.
Which is a section, Mr. Umapati, you refer to 300?
Yeah, sir, is that?
300 ಏನು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ ನೋಡಿ 300 order
325 is from KMC, right? So that is redundant.
New punishment of BBMP officer under section 104 and 105.
ಆಮೇಲೆ 300 odd ಏನೋ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ
325. That is actually redundant because KMC is not valid.
No, Rupa madam, no.
Corporation Security Force. Sorry, Security Force.
Corporation Security Force. These security force can also be given not only a revenue leakage, but also can be employed to see that no regular, that means no unauthorized building or anything can be taken place within the ward level. Corporation Security Force.
In Whitefield, they employed the wardens to prevent illegal constructions in one layout for 2 months, and they did a very good job.
Very good.
They were deputed to SWM. They were temporarily taken aside. But because the corporation could not depute wardens specifically under ward engineering, they discontinued.
Okay,
There is a precedent for how they have used wardens effectively, but they didn't continue to.
Okay. Now, I want to add only one important point here. See, all this kind of whatever the grievance we are having against the illegal construction or unauthorized construction, no. Under the BBMP Act, there is one grievance redressal authority is there. Under section 368. We should be retired, we should be headed by the retired judge. Okay. Then their duty is to ensure that all the grievances of the citizens will be ensured after a proper inquiry. This has not yet been acted upon by the government till date. In fact, we have already moved one PL before the Honorable High Court. A notice has been issued to the government, but further hearing is yet to take place. If this grievance redressal authority is constituted, at least all this kind of our complaints, no, there is a time limit fixed under the BBMP Act.
Okay.
To dispose the complaint, just like a Lokaayukta.
Yeah.
So, okay, this provision should also be activated. So there should be a more pressure from the civic citizen side.
So all these points you can see on the screen, sir. We are making all these points. In fact, I will send it once to you for scrutiny. You can add or amend it. We will, from Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru and all the others, whoever wants to sign on, we can send a compiled representation. We'll give it to all the authorities and ministers and everybody. Let's try on that. Yes.
Okay.
I may say.
And Katyani madam may be knowing that ward committee is also not functioning. If the ward committees is going to function, no, then most of the decision can be taken by the ward committees. And so see that in the ward committees, no illegal construction or unauthorized construction is going to take place. So these ward committees are also not functional. This is also one of the important factors.
Yes.
If I may just come in for a minute. Basically, I've heard everybody, but I haven't heard anything which is, positive or encouraging, because we have actually, personally, many of us have already given complaints. None of them have been acted upon, whether it's right from the AWE to the commissioner level. So now you're saying there are no bylaws. You're saying the penalties are 25,000, 50,000, maybe not even there. Then, what, it just seems totally hopeless. I don't know. I mean, giving a PIL, you keep filing PILs, yes, but again, not getting any results, no?
Shanti, that is why we are in the mess we are, because our lawmakers fail us, and they are not interested in good governance.
Yeah, executive has failed, legislature, executive legislature both are failed,
because out of 1.5 crore people in Bengaluru, we have 20 people here sitting and trying to find out what is wrong. That is exactly why this government takes us for granted.
Actually, it is done purposely. According to me, they're not having the bylaw, not having anything notified, all those things, any penal provisions, all this is actually done deliberately. Because the people who, as you call them, the lawmakers, are the very people who are breaking the laws.
Exactly.
So that's how it is for so long.
In the interest of time, we will move to the next segment of the discussion. Is that okay?
Yes, sure.
Yeah. So now
Before that,
we are going
I just want to tell Sandeep, 1 minute. I've sent you that bylaw notification.
You did.
Nambike Nakshe, I've sent it to your WhatsApp. I've sent it to Mr. Umapati also. Today was the last day for giving objections. Then
that is Nambike Naksha is only for small site, madam. Not for big this one, what we call having a size of I think 30 to 40 square feet. No, I think full site. For those they need not
square meters.
They need not obtain any plan approval from the BBMP. They should certify their own. That means plan by the architect, BBMP plan architect, and they should upload on the website of the BBMP.
Katyani madam, this has nothing to do with punishments. We are discussing
There is nothing to do with the punishment, and this is applicable only for smaller site having a 30, 40
20, 30
and
and
small
30.
and average
This
citizens.
is a modification in the process of getting building
Building
plan
sign.
approval. That's all. This is like a deemed approval process.
Sir, Omapati, one sudden point. Sandeep, only one small clarification.
Sure.
Idu section 1(2) nalli neditar provisions of the act shall come into force on such date as the state government may, by notification, appoint on this behalf. New act, BBMP act. ಯಾವ provisions ಯಾವಾಗ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ notify ಮಾಡಿದಾರಾ ಅಥವಾ ಏನು? ಯಾವ sections?
According to Mr. Umapati, most of them are not yet done.
Sir, ಹೊಸ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಆಕ್ಟ್ 2020 BBMP ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವಾಗ್ನಿಂದ ಎಫೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾವ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ನೋಟಿಫೈ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಇದೆಯಾ? ಆಲ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ನೋಟಿಫೈಡ್.
All sections ಬಂದಿದೆ ಸರ್ ಇದು. I think
only rules have to be framed. Only rules have to be framed.
If the rules are framed, no.
And punishments have to be prescribed. All the sections are applicable, but there is half done job.
Rules have to be framed.
Prescription ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ.
ಯಾವ್ದು ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅದು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ, ರೂಲ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಇಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದೇರ್, ದೇ ಕ್ಯಾನಾಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಎನಿ ಸಜೆಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಇನ್ಪುಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ವಾಟ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಬರುವವರೆಗೂ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಪೆಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಇರುತ್ತಾ?
ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ. ಎಲೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲ್ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ.
State government has made the law. Why can't they do the prescriptions?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆ ಸರ್, ಲೆಟ್ ಮಿ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಔಟ್, ಇದು ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಹಂಗೆ ಆಯ್ತು. ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟಿ ಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾವಿಷನ್ಸ್ ಏನಿತ್ತು, unless the council approves the rate of tax and amount of tax or quantum of tax, adagala anta, but they notified. Then we from BPV immediately objected, saying that as such there is no council in kind of working, so the tax cannot be hiked without the approval of the council. Fortunately,
also this advertisement idu council had passed a ban. How did the state government override it?
Yavado council has
government recently wanted to override the ban on flex alva advertisements. So council had issued a ban.
Yavaga haledu
the state government override that?
Yes, that also should not have been done, strictly speaking.
I think the government can frame the rules, sir.
Howda?
Overriding the council, it will be subject to approval of the government again, ultimately, as Mr. Umapati rightly pointed out.
These are violative of the 74th amendment, alva?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Umapati Avare, I just have a small doubt. May I?
Yeah, madam, please.
I own a site less than 30-40. I don't need sanction plan from BBMP. Is that what you're saying?
No. It is not like that, ma'am. You have to get it uploaded after certificate. I think certificate from the BBMP and what we call architect.
Yeah, he has to upload it.
Then they will see it.
Has it come into effect?
I think it is there. That is, I think madam has given the Nambike next. I also heard from my
30 days adu public consultation nadita ittu, adre notification ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ.
Now even a small building, wherever they are constructing, BBMP official are not coming and making inspection because there is less violation. It will impact will be less. But the question is only for the commercial building, big builders, and also what we call those who build the building for resale. Last happened Babu Supalia, no? His intention was to sell the entire this one, what we call entire complex.
Right now the problem is 30-40 sites alli 7-8 stories kattare.
Then it should be looked into.
But so 30-40 site, part of a bigger layout, BDA doesn't give approval. I can do what I want as long as I have only ground plus 2 or 3. I don't need BBMP approval. Is that
no, you need a BBMP approval, madam. You need a BBMP approval.
Usha, the proposal from the government was to do you have the self-assessment tax alva.
Haudu.
Similarly, approved building plan, the government wants.
Sir, Sandeep, one point is there. Architect has to, architect and the engineer, they have to give an undertaking that is
exactly
plan and the construction will be as per the
building
broad outline.
And they are they also
just giving a broad outline that the individual can themselves upload with architect approval, as
okay, that's all.
That's all.
It has to comply with all the building plans.
Yes. Bylaws,
including that the BDA has to give their approval if it's a part of a.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
They're very, very trusting.
It is for 30-40 and 20-30. Now it might have been extended to 40-60 also.
Oh my
Maybe.
God.
You cannot construct any building without any approval from, as per section 239, you cannot construct any building without any approval from the BBMP.
This whole discussion is it's based on the assumption that people are actually getting building plan approvals. If you come to Whitefield, 60 to 70% buildings don't have building plan approval.
Okay.
So what is the use of having this law?
Or they have building plan approvals without BD approvals.
No. Madam, BD approval is different.
It again
BBMP
depends.
approval is
Don't
different.
complicate this discussion, Usha. It's very simple.
Okay.
Ek khata requires building plan approval. People, even if they get it, violate it by 200-300%. Therefore, the law is ineffective. B khata cannot get building plan approval, but people are still going ahead and building without building plan approval.
Got
So
it.
these are the two levels of violation.
Got it.
Okay, now we will move to the relevant. There are a whole lot of circulars that the BBMP has passed, especially because of the PIL in the unauthorized PIL in High Court. I think the court reference number is 41517 writ petition. Now we'll just go to the most important one. In 2022, there was another case in which they have issued a law that the ADTP has to go to site while plinth is being marked. So I will not go into it. That is a significant notification issued in 2022. Then in 2023, July 27/7/2023, this is a very significant circular because it has laid out a complete framework. Should we go through this para by para, Mahesh and Umapati?
According to me, the latest BBMP circular 18/10/24, no?
Correct.
That is important.
Modification agide ashte.
Modification agide. Adralli circular number 1.
So, this is the basis.
Circular number 1, 3 and 5, no? That is what you quoted. That has been withdrawn. 18/10/24 ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನೀವು.
Which has been withdrawn?
No. In 18/10/24 circular, if you take, no.
ಮೇಲ್ಗಡೆ latest.
Okay. In that.
ಎರಡಿದೆ ಸರ್.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. 18/10
unauthorized construction.
Unauthorized construction.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಕಚೇರಿ ಆದೇಶ ಅಂತಿದೆಯಲ್ಲ 18/10/24 ಇದಲ್ವಾ? ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ನಂಬರ್ 1, 3 ಮತ್ತೆ 5 ಇಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾನ್.
1, 3, 4 and 6.
ಅಲ್ಲ ವಿತ್ಡ್ರಾ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. 1, 3 and 5 ಮಾತ್ರ.
Have been withdrawn andre what is 1, 3 and 5?
ಅಲ್ಲ that has been substituted by this act. See, if you go to page number ಇದಲ್ಲಿದೆ ನೋಡಿ.
Oh, you're talking of points 1, 3 and 5. Okay, fine. So
okay, that circular need not be ಈಗ no more applicable ಈಗ.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ 1, 3 and 5 points ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮೂರೇ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
No. What I am saying, I am trying to say that reference number ಒಟ್ಟು 6 reference number ಹಾಕಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಟಾಪ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ. ಹೌದಾ?
ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು.
This is 18/10/24.
ಉಲ್ಲೇಖನ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖಗಳ
ಉಲ್ಲೇಖಗಳು ಹೌದು. Is this circular 18/10/24?
24 ಹೋಗಿ 24 ಅಲ್ಲ ಇದು 23 ಇದು.
ಅಲ್ಲ 18/10/24 ತಗೊಳ್ಳಿ.
ಲೇಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಹೋಗಿ.
To take 18/10/24, that is the latest.
ಹೌದು. ಓಕೆ. ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಉಲ್ಲೇಖಗಳು 1, 3 and 5
1, 3, 5 it has been substituted.
ಪರವಾಗಿಲ್ಲ. I am looking at 4. ಕಚೇರಿ ಆದೇಶ 27/7/2023.
That is applicable. ಅದು ಇನ್ನು it is in existence.
Now, that particular thing is very important because that has given the complete framework alva.
Okay, right.
So we will go to that one.
Okay. 23.
So quickly, Mahesh, do you want to do this? You want to go through each paragraph and explain it?
I think you can. ಬುಲೆಟ್ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಸ್ ತರ ಏನಾರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಆಯ್ತು ಉಮಾಪತಿ ಅವರು 2-3 ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಲೇಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವು.
ಇಲ್ಲ, that is why I said, do you want to summarize the points? I'm not asking you to.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನ ಇನ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ so to say, to be frank, I have not gone through it at all.
Sandeep, instead what we can do, 1810-24 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಸಮ್ಮರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಪ್ರೊಸೀಜರ್, who is the what are the duties of the executive engineer, assistant executive engineer, assistant town planner ಮತ್ತೆ zonal commissioner ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. I think if you go by this circular, no, if we see that this circular is implemented in letter and spirit, most of the problem would be solved.
See, this is a Google Translate because my Kannada reading will be very slow. We'll just quickly summarize.
ಯಾವುದು 1810-24
ಇಲ್ಲ 27-7
ಬೇಡ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೇನೋ.
ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. There is one important point I want to stress on in 27-7. I will only go to that point, okay? There are two. The main thing is it has prescribed a timeline.
Okay.
Okay. This is a 117 days timeline. From the beginning to the end. Any violation should be noticed. Then who should take action? ADTP or AWE, depending on whether it is a violation of building plan approval or whether it is a completely illegal building, that is without building plan approval. Accordingly, the AE or the JE can take action, or ADTP or AWE has to take action. Up to step 7, it goes on parallel track. Wherever building plan approvals, like here it is clear. See, wherever there is a violation of building plan approval, the ADTP has to take action. Wherever it is unauthorized construction, AE, JE and AWE have to take action. Okay. After that, it goes to the executive engineer. From executive engineer onwards, it is preparation for demolition. And this whole thing, see, from T70 days, that is, these guys have to issue 248-1 notice, 248-2 notice, and then 248-3. Adadmele they have to send a proposal to executive engineer for demolition. This is 356-1-2 anta eno ide. Then they have to issue notice for evacuation and they have to demolish. 117 days. Our experience in Whitefield, one area was the JC started action. The ADTP did all their work up to step 7.
Cold step.
They did their work thoroughly. Site locationally 72 buildings ittu, 30 were building plan approval, 4 had no violations, and 38 were unauthorized construction. 38 unauthorized construction ಏನು action ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ. 30 violation ಗೆ ADTP has issued all notices up to 7. Next process is from E in the movement tail. And the E doesn't even know what's going on. Apparently, last week after this collapse and all that, JC was saying we have to survey the whole area for all illegal construction. The E actually had the gall to say, in our area there are no violations only, no matter. This guy lives in another planet. On the layout, just one layout has 100 violations. Imagine all of Whitefield, how many violations there will be.
He might not have started. Maybe he might not have gone out of his office or chamber itself.
No, he doesn't live in this planet. Okay. Now, the other very significant point in this circular is this. Page 2, last paragraph. I feel this is the most significant one. Would one of you want to have a go at
last paragraph?
ಈ paragraph.
ಆದ್ದರಿಂದ
ಅವರು ತಡೆಯುವಲ್ಲಿ ವಿಫಲವಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಬಿಎಂಪಿ ಕಾಯ್ದೆ ಕಲಂ 252 ಅಡಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಮತ್ತು ದಿನಾಂಕ 16/11/19 ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಅಧಿಸೂಚನೆಯಿಂದ ಶಿಸ್ತು ಕ್ರಮಕ್ಕೆ ಅರ್ಹರಾಗಿರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ವಿಷಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಹಾಯಕ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರು, ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಪಾಲಕ ಅಭಿಯಂತರಗಳು ವಾರ್ಡ್ ಅಭಿಯಂತರಗಳಿಗೆ ಅಗತ್ಯ ಸಹಕಾರ ನೀಡತಕ್ಕದ್ದು. But under 252 there is no punishment prescribed.
ಅದೇ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದು.
They're just making
no. What is important here is they says that the ward junior engineer, assistant engineer have to monitor all constructions that are happening in a ward.
Okay.
Just for the benefit of everybody else, I'll also display the English translation. See, henceforth, junior assistant engineers working at the ward level are responsible for monitoring all buildings being constructed in the ward and bringing any unauthorized construction to the attention of the AWE. And in case of violation of the building plan approval, bring it to the attention of the consistent ADTP and perform duties as per his instructions and section 248(1) Adala Madbeko shall also be liable to ensure that the work is not resumed. Failure to prevent them will be liable for, which means it is the job of the JE, AE and AWE to prevent any illegal construction happening in a ward.
Okay.
And if they fail to do so, they are supposed to have disciplinary action taken as per section 252 anta idare. That you are saying it is not yet activated antala. 252.
Yeah.
Sandeep, going further, as per government notification dated 16/11/2019, is nowadays. And BBMP Act 252, not only BBMP Act 252, and as per government notification, G1 nodabekide 16/11/2019.
So does anybody know what is in this? Ilva?
Well, we don't have idea about this.
16 nodabekadu.
6/11/2019.
This last paragraph we'll have to get clarity on.
Yeah.
252, Mr. Umapati, you're saying is there are no.
No, not yet prescribed. Yeah.
252, okay. In addition to 252 of the BBMP Act, and it continues as per government. That government notification is important. Whether it will throw light on what actions are, what punitive measures
We'll do
are
a follow-up on this paragraph as to identify what is the.
Somebody has to fetch that government notification.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then 1810 will go to.
Latest one.
Although I think they've made it, zonal commissioner is now completely in charge, alva?
Yes.
Okay.
Final authority is put on zonal commissioner.
Zonal commissioner, yeah.
Now, in this, which sections are important? Because reading, if I read Kannada, it will take too long.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೂನು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾರು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಿರಿಯ ಸಂಬಂಧಪಟ್ಟ ವಾರ್ಡ್ನ ಕಿರಿಯ ಸಹಾಯಕ ಅಭಿಯಂತರರ ಮತ್ತು ಸಹಾಯಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಪಾಲಕ ಅಭಿಯಂತರದ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಸಹಾಯಕ ಅಭಿಯಂತರರು ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಅಸಿಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್. ಕಟ್ಟಡ ಕಾಮಗಾರಿಯನ್ನ ಅವಕಾಶ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ BBMP Act 252 ಅಂಡ್ KCSR ರೂಲ್ ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಶಿಸ್ತು ಕ್ರಮ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅವರು.
It's a repeat of that same paragraph, alva?
Same. And also some timelines has also been changed in this latest circular.
Okay.
They also fix certain timelines, not in the graphical matter. 30 days, 15 days, ಮತ್ತೆ 30 days.
ಹಳೆ ಟೈಮ್ ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾರ?
ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
ಅದನ್ನ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ ನಾವೀಗ.
ಹೌದು, ಇದು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್ 6 ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಪೇಜ್ 5 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕದು.
ಪೇಜ್ 5 ಎಲ್ಲಿದೆ? Oh, this is a very long circular.
Yeah, long circular. 6 page ಇದೆ. Total 7-8 page ಇದೆ.
8 pages.
So ಇಲ್ಲ
6 page. Page number 6. ಅಲ್ಲೋಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. Yeah. Here, para 6 is important. What you are reading now, section 248(1), 2 and 3 ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು responsibilities on the executive engineer, assistant executive engineer and assistant engineer. ಮತ್ತೆ ಅದನ್ನ ತಡಿಬಾರ್ದು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಗ್ಬಾರ್ದು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಟ್ರೆ 252 ಮತ್ತೆ KCSR ಪ್ರಕಾರ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ತಗೋತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. And the para 6 ಅಲ್ಲಿ they are given some kind of detailed timeline. First procedure, second procedure ಯಾವುದು ಆ ತರ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ. It is a little bit more exhaustive ಇದೆ. ಇದನ್ನ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕು ಐ ಥಿಂಕ್ BBMP officials.
In our Shantinagar ward,
Yes,
all the residents are protesting against all the illegal violations. And I have been, and the BBMP zonal commissioner is also in that WhatsApp group. So when the engineers are failing to take action, I'm asking her, ma'am, what is your duty? What action are you taking against them? She's not responding. Though the circulars say that she is ultimately responsible for taking action on the engineers who failed to do their duty. She's totally silent. She's not answering. When I ask her, ma'am, what action have you taken against the officials who have failed to implement the law? Totally unaccountable. Zonal commissioner.
Maybe I have to go to the next higher authority and ensure that as per KCS, some action is initiated against the commissioner or joint commissioner. Now it is commissioner, I think. Zones are being headed by commissioner.
See, this is a devolution notice. Can you see this? Oh, 1 second. I have to change the share.
Joint commissioners upgraded as commissioners.
ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಾ?
ಏನದು?
This is the devolution notice. As per this,
the date of the circular?
15/11/23. Administrative officers.
Okay.
So disciplinary action ಯಾರ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ? ಆಡಳಿತ ಶಾಖೆಯ ಆಡಳಿತ ಅಧಿಕಾರಿಗಳು ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಯಾ?
Special commissioner.
No, it has been issued by whom, sir?
This is issued by Govt Bengaluru Mahanagara Palike.
Last sign ಯಾರ್ದಿದೆ?
Chief Commissioner.
Chief Commissioner ಇರಬೇಕು. ಮುಖ್ಯ ಆಯುಕ್ತ.
Okay. This is not about the disciplinary action ಅಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಇದು.
ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇದು I have 3-4 notices on devolution. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದರಲ್ಲಿ disciplinary action ಇದೆ.
Officers ಅಷ್ಟೇ, administrative officers ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾವ ಲೆವೆಲ್
ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Disciplinary action ಯಾರು ತಗೋಬೇಕಂತ ಇದೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, as I told earlier, section 104 of the BBMP Act ಪ್ರಕಾರನೇ ಪ್ರಿಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಡಿಸಿಪ್ಲಿನರಿ ಆಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾರು ತಗೊಬೇಕಂತ, not based on the office order.
Yes.
It cannot go sanctity in the eyes of the law. Government should issue the law, notification prescribing the authorities who are competent to initiate a disciplinary action by exercising power under section 104. This may not be this one, what we call for enforcing the action on the hearing officials, because it will they go to the High Court and get a stay order since it has been issued by the incompetent authority.
Then there's no point. Okay, sir. So the other thing is these notices which are prescribed in this. Okay, one is this. What we are facing now in our zone, we have instances where the zonal commissioner and joint commissioner, what they tell engineers, the engineers are not listening, saying they are reporting to their hierarchy, which is executive engineer, then chief engineer of BBMP, something like that. So there is a conflict in hierarchy right now. I don't know if it has been clarified. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಯಾರಿಗೆ ಅವ್ರು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಆಗ್ತಾರೆ? ಡು ದೇ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಟು ಸ್ಪೆಷಲ್ ಕಮಿಷನರ್ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಂಬಡಿ ಅಂಡ್ ಆರ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಎ ಚೀಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಫಾರ್ BBMP?
ಅಲ್ಲ ಯಾವ್ದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ? ಇಲ್ಲಿಗಲ್ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆನಾ?
ಜನರಲಿ ಲೈಕ್ ಲೈನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ. ಈಗ ಲೈನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಇರತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಜೂನಿಯರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್,
ಲೈನ್ ಅಥಾರಿಟಿ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಮಿ ಗೋಸ್ ಬೈ ದ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್. ಈಗ ಪ್ಲಾನಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ, ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ, SWM ಸಪರೇಟ್ ಇದೆ, ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾರು ಹೈಯರ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅಕಾರ್ಡಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಡಿಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ವೈಸ್.
ಚೀಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಜೂನಿಯರ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, ಬೋರ್ಡ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್, AEE, C ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಝೋನ್ಗೆ. That C reports to whom? He reports to zonal commissioner, or does he report to CE BBMP head office, then above him special commissioner somebody, and then chief commissioner? All line authority hogata, athwa do they report to the zonal commissioner?
The chief engineer is the supreme authority. He will be reporting to the. He will be answerable and reporting to the commissioner, as the chief commissioner or commissioner.
So what happens now? This entire hierarchy is bypassing the zonal commissioner and joint commissioner. They don't listen to.
Okay. But zonal commission is made responsible to ensure that within their zone no illegal construction is taking place, alva. So it should go through the zonal commission only.
Correct. But when they verbal agi this engineering side don't listen to them. So either they have to issue disciplinary action, only then they will listen.
ಅಲ್ಲ ಚೀಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಝೋನಲ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇದಾರ ನೋಡಿ, ಎಕ್ಸಿಕ್ಯೂಟಿವ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ವರ್ಗೂ ಇರ್ಬೋದು. ಈಗ ಅಪ್ಗ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಚೀಫ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರ್ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ who does that chief engineer of zone report to? Does he report to
whom he is answerable to? To whom he is answerable to? That should be.
That is where the conflict arises.
Okay.
Because the chief engineer of the zone acts like he has nothing to do with the zonal commission. He throws his weight around.
Okay,
So
that is also
one that needs to be resolved.
Maybe the head office, ಅಲ್ಲ ಹೆಡ್ ಆಫೀಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಇನ್ ಚೀಫ್ ಅಂತ ಏನಾರು ಇರ್ಬೋದೇನೋ ನೋಡಿ.
Correct. Engineering in chief ಇತ್ತು ಮೊದಲು, ಈಗ ಇದಾರ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. I looked at the website. I can't even find a organization hierarchy chart.
ಅಷ್ಟೇ. No, so Sandeep, you should go to RTI section is there. In the BBMP website, you go to the RTI section link. There you click 41B. It is displayed. 41B it is called. In that complete hierarchy of all the department is displayed.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah. It is there.
Section 41B.
41B of RTI Act. If you go to RTI link is there. In that you can download or view the 41B section, 41B, wherein each department wise who is the authorities to whom they have to report. That hierarchy is there. You can follow that this one.
RTI Act sectional alva?
41B, yeah.
41B.
Yeah.
For within brackets 1 and within brackets B. Next.
The next item is see, this is the problem. No, there is no independent policing force. Right now, what's happening? We're putting engineers in charge of enforcement. These engineers are only making money out of this. Why will they enforce? Like, okay, we've already come across all these sections which we have to get clarification. Ivella bandbitre, then we'll have a separate policing force.
And this BBMP have not been given any police power. Either BMTF should be activated, or Corporation Security Force is there, no? Under section 325. These two should be given the power.
Correct.
Okay, to ensure that this kind of illegal construction is not taking place. Even if they take, they should be authorized to remove.
Correct. All right. So we pretty much covered all the points that I had on mind.
Okay.
Now I invite the group to come up with their points. Anything else that we need to discuss?
Sir, Umapati, some action has to be initiated to ensure that so moto BBMP does everything.
That is not possible, sir. Even after a repeated complaint by the citizens, they are not acting. So sumoto, unless some building collapses only, they will come. Sumoto, it is beyond this one.
Hello.
Lokayukta is not
Actually,
taking suo motu.
Lokayukta used to take suo motu cognizance, and they used to have a police force which was disbanded. We can demand for it to be reactivated so
Yes,
that
yes.
they can do the.
That's a good idea. That's a good suggestion. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲದಕ್ಕೂ citizens or residents have to complain ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಒಂದ್ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಕಟ್ಟೋ ಕನ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಷನ್ ಲಾಬಿ ಹೆಂಗಿರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ the complainant might not be able to withstand it unless he is
He has to follow it up rigorously. Otherwise, no complaints is taken to logical end.
Yeah,
They are
and
supposed to do
citizens, and we have to become more active and demand all these things, because for so long it has been, according to me, very nicely streamlined in such a way that nobody gets punished and everything goes on as was going on for decades now. And if now we have a chance, we must take advantage of it and see that all these laws, acts, etc. are streamlined so that nothing can be, they cannot do anything they like as they've been doing so far without getting the punishment.
ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಕಮಿಷನ್ ಒಮಿಷನ್ ಎರಡು ಇರ್ಬೇಕಲ್ಲಿ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ.
In Shantinagar ward, the residents have made the engineers stop the work in 2-3 buildings where violations had taken place.
Acha, good, good. Shantinagar.
Shantinagar. Yeah.
Yavaga, in the last week, is it?
Last week.
Oh, that's very good. In Madhepura, they have demolished 2-3 buildings, but I don't know what is the basis and all that. The JC claims that now we have started demolishing, we are seeking out violations and demolishing. But what we see in front of us is we can see illegal constructions happening, and they're continuing. There are buildings with approval for 3 floors have already built 6 floors, and work is continuing in those buildings. And this is happening openly in front of everyone. So I don't know what action they're taking. They claim they're taking action. We don't see it on the ground. And let me be very specific. We are only complaining about commercial buildings. We are not at all concerned with, let's say, how somebody has deviated by 10%. We don't care. The deviations that are happening now are, number one, all are commercial buildings. 2, they are not small deviations. The deviations of 200, 300%. They become a complete nuisance to the entire area, because one, they bring in a lot of population that the area cannot handle. There is no parking space. There is no setback. There is no gap between 2 buildings. There is no light. Even the people living in those buildings, it is a torture for them, because there is no light, there is no air for them. So what do these people do? A lot of this PG building, they don't spend their time inside the building because it's too suffocating. They come out and loiter in the other areas of the ward, and they make life miserable for them also, because they'll come and sit and they will hang around in front of other apartments, better layouts and all that. So they're becoming a complete nuisance to the entire area. And this is why we are actually opposed to the commercial violations. A homeowner who makes a slight deviation, even if he makes 50% deviation, I don't think anybody will bother, because that is not going to alter the impact on the entire area. It is not going to impact the water actors. It will not impact the sewage. It will not impact the road actors. It will not impact the power. You know how many transformers keep burning nowadays because the capacity is, they're unable to meet the capacity.
Sandeep,
Amit had a question.
Sandeep, I don't agree with you on this. There are 30 by 40 sites where they are actually building a ground floor or garage plus 5, 6 floors right around my area, near my place.
No. And I said a family that's living in in their own site makes a minor deviation, and if 1 or 2 extra people in their family live, we have no objection, is what I meant. If they are building a commercial building by going up to 5, 6 floors, obviously it is wrong. It should be demolished. I'm sorry if I had been misunderstood.
Sandeep, one small clarification I want to pitch in. You are telling that A khata and B khata. Strictly speaking, A khata and B khata are only for the purposes of collection of the taxes. But this either BBMP or some municipal authority has to be there who invariably has to approve the plan. Okay, if it is a smaller plan, as it is, it's automatic or something like that. So somebody is responsible. If it is within the purview of BBMP, then BBMP is solely responsible for whatever illegal constructions are happening, even on revenue sites. That's my understanding.
Yeah,
If
that is
it's
the law.
if
The
say it
problem
is
is
outside,
nobody is enforcing.
if it's outside the purview of BBMP, then some other authority or some other planning authority will come into picture. I think 800 plus square kilometers is the area now, and in all probability, almost all the constructions which you are referring to illegal
No, we are
construction.
referring to only BBMP area.
Yes,
Except
yes, yes.
BBMP area.
So,
See, now the weakness in law is one, we allow illegal layouts to take place.
yes.
Then we give them a B khata, which actually says it's an illegal site.
Yes, sir. Be like register. That's all. It's not a khata.
Correct. It's not even a khata, it's a register. Now, what kind of a government does this? It is creating illegal sites.
No, khata, leave out the khata. At least the construction should be, it should be ensured that constructions are not illegal or beyond the sanctioned this one.
So the problem with allowing any construction there is the constructions there will already violate the layout provision.
Yeah,
because
there's
the
no
layout
approved layout plan or something.
No, we're not worried about the term approved or unapproved. What we're worried about is does this layout have
Construction.
provisions for amenities?
Yeah.
Does it have provision for the capacity? Does it have provision for civic amenity? I mean, that is the problem. It is
No,
not about how
afterwards,
to change that layout.
Sandeep, it will be taken care of when Akrama Sakrama is brought in. All these are taken care of.
It will never come into picture.
Yeah, Akrama Sakrama violates the basic fundamental law. It will never happen. No court will allow it.
Yeah, Supreme Court will not allow it.
Yeah.
Sandeep,
And
what is the
politicians keep misleading people that it will happen.
No.
Because the politicians are the ones who take the bribe.
And even there, the limitations are there: 25% for commercial and maximum 50% for residential or something like that. So, if it is beyond that, then it has to be demolished. Beyond that, it has to be invariably demolished.
Sandeep,
That will not happen. That law is not going to happen.
Yeah.
And we shouldn't actually even discuss this pointless. So,
No,
Amit
but-
had some, Amit Nigel, are you still there? Amit Nigel.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah. So you had some question, no? Those basically those extracts which I took off the bylaws, both are available on BBMP website. If you go to BBMP website, you will get the BBMP bylaws, and you might also, if you Google UDD model bylaws, you will get the other one.
Okay, thank you.
And you have posted something here, no? What is that?
That is regarding the
Karnataka
disciplinary
KMC Act. Oh, what are you referring to?
disciplinary action.
That is 90, section 90. Sir, ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ನೀವು ಉಮಾಪತಿ ಅವರೇ?
ಏನ್ ಸರ್ ಅದು ಮೆಸೇಜ್?
No, Amit Nigli has in the chat box, he's shared one extract of KMC Act, number 90, punishment for corporation officer. Does it apply to BBMP? Or does it apply now after BBMP Act?
Section 90 of the KMC Act.
This is the KMC Act.
Transitory provision ಅಷ್ಟೇ.
Do transitory, na?
90 of the, okay, 1 minute. This is punishment for corporation officers and other employees. No, because this is for the, because under the BBMP Act, no. Now they have got a new C&R rules, cadre and recruitment rules, okay. According to them only, the punishment, disciplinary action, everything has to be initiated. So this section 90 of the KMC Act will not be applicable to BBMP Act because of the new provision inserted in the BBMP Act only for the BBMP employees.
Oh, that clarifies your doubt, Amit.
Which act, sir? BBMP, which year?
See, no. BBMP Act has been enacted in 2020, no?
2020.
Okay, fine.
November, something like that.
Any other question from remaining speakers?
Can we
Hello?
Can we shorten things that we need to get done?
No, this is the final round. Any questions from anybody?
Yes, Sandeep.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yeah. Continue, sir.
What happens to the lakhs of buildings that are already existing in Bikata without any license approval, without anything unauthorized? What happens to that? See, all these rules and regulations which BBMP spells out can be taken forward for the under construction and things like that. What about those which are already existing, which are in lakhs? In all the 110 villages which are not converted, unplanned layouts, and things like that, which is almost 75% of outer Bangalore is that.
Well, frankly
Nothing will
speaking,
happen. Nothing will happen.
frankly speaking, I have no clue.
But
But
unless
I think what Mahesh is saying is the reality. Nothing will happen.
Courts will not.
Akrama Sakrama will happen.
No akrama sakrama, madam.
No akrama, sir.
No.
Courts will not permit. Courts will not permit demolitions, especially on the residential land.
No.
Here not only the
I
unit,
got
but
a question, Nile. Sorry, this is Prasanna from HPR Layout.
yes, sir.
That Babusapale building which fell, was hardly around the 1 kilometer radius. So now we seem to have a lot of, I was just listening to all that discussion we had. So number 30-40 plot buildings go up 5 floors. Okay, and there is another 40-60 couple of them, 6 plots hogi there. So we are actually working on a document. We are collating all the violations. We've asked our residents to throw in inputs namige, along with building details, photographs, location, and that. So we are looking at addressing this to the commissioner and a copy to be sent to the Lokaayukta chief or whoever. So anything else that you want me to do? Anything that you can suggest me with this, please? Commercial ಈಗ ಇದು ಮಾಡಕ್ ಹೋಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ, but residential ಇದನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದೀಗ. We're looking more at the residential thing.
Now, our practical experience, not only we do certain action in the court also, but also in the field level. But our practical experience is that even if you go to Lokaayukta, nothing is happening. They conduct the hearing for years together, 3 or 4 years. They are go on conducting in order to make a recommendation to the government. Even that recommendation again is left to the discretion of the government. Many of the recommendations of the Lokaayukta is being turned down. Okay. So according to my honest opinion, even Lokaayukta is also not functioning and not people friendly. Because the building fell down, in order to show that Lokaayukta is there, they came to the spot and do some spot inspection. So the remedy is that's some kind of movement at the local level or ward level, catch hold of this local MLA or something, or you should go to the writ jurisdiction under to the High Court. High Court, at least some notice is issued, at least the people will get, government and BBMP official will give some kind of affidavit or take some action.
Yes.
This is the only remedy, sir. That is, but approaching High Court is also costlier. That is also one of the problems.
Correct. One, I'm just thinking out of the box. One likelihood is after you make your survey and you make your list of complaints and all that, possibly you can implead into 41517 writ petition, the unauthorized constructions, going on in the High Court. They keep having hearing. You could possibly implead into it because most of these circulars by the BBMP are issued under pressure from that writ petition only. You can highlight to the court that just in one ward this is the situation. After all the circulars they have issued based on your direction, they are not following. Then the High Court might issue some strictures.
Some directions or some
directions or strictures both. Or the third option, another second legal option is you can file a contempt of court against BBMP commissioner using 41517 order.
No, that Sandeep. Here I differ because he cannot move a contempt petition because he is not the party. He is only those party who are before the court. They can initiate this one.
One who is affected.
That person cannot come and say that that order is violated.
One is affected. One who is affected. Only can.
It is not an effective method.
Got it.
Instead,
in one precedent, because the issue pertained to public domain. Public were allowed to file contempt. I'll have to clarify. I remember this long back. But since the specialist lawyer is here, he might be right and I might be wrong.
Yes.
But in case, if first of all, the case is suo moto. Suo moto andre public are the actual petitioner.
Okay.
I'm assuming. So if the public are the petitioners, the public can file contempt of court.
Hey, Mr. Venkatesh.
But according to our experience, no, our contempt petition will be scrutinized at the registry stage itself. Since you are not a party to the proceedings, you cannot maintain this petition. Like that, they will reject the petition. That cannot be what we call solution to this one. Instead, as I suggested earlier, you can make at least that grievance redressal authority under the BBMP Act, which is effective. You can make that authority functional and submit all the complaints there. See that some solution is given to the citizens.
No, that we'll have to file representation, and then it's left to
the
the
it has to be. It has to be. It has to be by way of
but Prasanna, try impleading. If you have a lawyer, try impleading into 41517 right away.
The existing one.
Then what happens? Once you're impleaded, you become a party in the case.
Wow. Okay.
And once you're a party in the case, maybe you can even file contempt of court.
Unless he is aggrieved
or becomes a party in the case, he can file contempt, alva?
No. Aggrieved or affected party. If at all he is an aggrieved or
difficult. Again, one more difficult. Impleading application should be allowed. In that impleading application, you have to make grounds and why you are sleeping all these days. Like that, they will tell why you are awaking, coming now, all these years, what you are doing. Too many questions will be asked by the court.
Anyway, no harm trying. You can try whatever.
No harm not trying. Let them try.
Yeah, I had one small doubt. This is Amit again.
Hey, can we take turns because there's somebody waiting? Amit, Mr. Venkatesh.
Who's waiting?
Mr. Venkatesh has been waiting.
Mr. Venkatesh, can you speak?
Definitely. I was waiting for the chance then to talk. See, I am from the AECS layout. See, one of our member, I am the honorary secretary for that RWA. One of my member sandwiched by the two sides, which I have sent a photo in the group also. G+7 has been built. He has been from taken RTI. G+2 was an approval for one person, and G+3 was an approval for another person. In a 30-50, they have put a G+7, total 8 crores. If you taken that as a stilt for a parking, a G+6, 7 floors they have been taken, and he has been sandwiched. We have been complained to everyone from the commissioner to the AE, everything, and 3 notices has been issued, but nothing has been stopped. Still going on, construction is going on a 8th floor. Even police complaint has also been lodged. See, what is the next situation? Joint commissioner, we have given a complaint. AE, CE, AEE, and AE. They said that, that my business is only to give serve the notices. And demolition has to take from the AE and others. This AE says in Shrikant. He also, they are downline the forward the letters. That's all they have done. And he says that I have given for a demolition. We don't have money for anything. At least you stop the work. Demolition is the second part of it. At least you can stop the work for going for an 8th floor. No, in a 30-50.
You have clearly seen in those 2 notices that it says JE, AE, AEE have to prevent construction.
Yes, I have seen, sir. I
have
seen the letter.
Show them that and tell them, see, this is your job.
Sir, I told in the ward committee meeting also, what they will say, we will see, and they will go, nothing will be done. I explained about the 23 letter and office order and the 18/10/24 office order also. I have been discussed with that. I have a copy with which you have been sent, that have been downloaded and done. But what is the next alternative from chief ADTP, JDTP, commissioner, zonal commissioner, and everybody has forwarded the letter. Then what should we do it? The next action to be taken. That is the one, that suggestion I am asking. Now you wanted to go to Lokayukta, whether it is workout or to go to a court. I don't know. That in a group, the suggestion we need to go for it.
Since how long it is going on, sir?
This is last 7 months.
Last 7 months is going on. Oh, okay. You exhausted almost all the remedies, including the chief commissioner, no?
Yes, yes.
But did you approach the UDD? Additional Chief Secretary, Urban Development Department.
No.
No, you make a representation to the UDD along with the chief commissioner and other important zonal commissioner. Then you, according to me, you should go to High Court only, because Lokayukta may not, because by the time you get relief, the construction would be completed.
That's what. Another 3-4 months, building will be completed.
Yeah. So you have to get to this one, approach the court, since you are the aggrieved person, and also neighboring, you can very well maintain a single writ petition, not a PL. It's a single writ petition before the single judge. I think you may get a relief, sir.
Yes.
Okay.
And
any advocate suggestion is there? We can approach, because they're all normal people, we do not know much about all these things.
You can take Mr. Umapati's help.
You take the help. Those who advocate that means you believe not trustworthy, you approach them, sir. Nowadays we are also not recommending any person to advocate also, because advocate later turn on in the different direction. That's why we don't suggest.
Sir, this is a very straight and simple case. Anybody can take it with sincerity only, the important, nothing else. Because all the documents is in a systematic way. Giving a complaint from RT, take a approval plan, copy of it, and approach from one by one, stage by stage one. Everything has been done.
Okay.
All the copies is also there.
Now, if you approach if you approach the UDD, no, because of the
Urban
latest
Development Secretary,
Additional Chief Secretary, Urban Development Department, because of the Bengaluru one.
Okay.
Then you can think of the next step, sir. Even if you don't get a remedy, get an advocate, issue a legal notice stating that you will be moving to the High Court under against you, like that. I think you may get some relief. Otherwise, only alternative last resort is to High Court only.
Okay, sir. I will be normally. We know Anirudh well. We are meeting in some other meeting also. Then I will be in touch with Anirudh. Then I will contact you, sir.
Give them 7 or 15 days maximum time. That's all.
Exactly. No, minimum 15 days should be given, sir. 7 days is also very less nowadays.
or Amit was saying something.
UDD, na? Sir, you're referring to UDD 750.
UDD,
UDD.
No. See, because if you go to the High Court, no,
you have to
make a UDD as a party. You will not get your work done, because the only Chief Commissioner BBMP will not suffice. The Secretary should also made a party, which is nothing but a UDD.
And you have to exhaust all the remedies also prior to going to the court.
That is the reason you should approach the UDD.
Sir,
UDD means Urban Development.
Locally, there are about 4 or 5 people have successfully used the court to stay construction and to even get demolition order from the High Court. And normally they have not made UDD party. They have just filed complaints here and then they have gone straight to the court. Adu work agide avarge.
ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿರೋ ಪ್ರಕಾರ 2-3 ಕೇಸಲ್ಲಿ UDD is a party, because Secretariat BBMP advocate do not turn up many of the times. At least UDD secretary, government advocate will be there. He will represent on behalf of at least this one.
Next to commissioner, UDD will be the authority, or the whomsoever is there. So UDD has to be made a party.
Has to be made a party.
What is the extension of UDD, sir?
The Urban Development Department.
Because of
the Bangalore one.
Oh, secretary.
Secretary. Additional Chief Secretary, you can say.
Okay, additional. Okay, tomorrow itself make a complaint to them, sir.
Detail and also enclose your previous representation submitted to the BBMP.
That's right. Even the notices will also enclose inside.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay, tomorrow itself will send it, sir. Thank you for the suggestion.
Thank you, man.
What did he need?
This is Amit. I just wanted to ask one question to Mr. Umapati.
Yeah.
Sir, when you mentioned A Kata and B Kata, sorry, A property and B property, right?
Yeah, I
A
think
Kata, B
Sandeep was
Kata.
mentioned, sir.
Yeah, that was mainly for that was mainly for tax related, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So my question is, why is only the building plan applicable for A Kata properties? Is there anything that specifically says only A Kata will get a plan or?
Sir, Amit, it's very simple. Any site bifurcation in the BBMP area should be, the layout approval should be obtained from BDA. If you don't obtain it, then that site is illegal. If it is illegal, you don't get a kata.
Revenue, yeah, layout. That's all. It's a revenue.
So basically, what happens is, it is illegal, therefore it doesn't get a kata. But the government has taken a very ambiguous position. But we still want to tax you. So we'll enter your name in a B register and collect, which is unethical. Basically, this is a problem which is created by the government itself. It should have one single law.
Question is, my question was, when you can collect the tax from the B Kata and the A Kata and only put building plan as a mandatory for construction only for A Kata, where is it written in the BBMP law that, only for A Kata BBMP plan sanction is applicable? I think it is applicable for both or any property.
No, there is no kata. There is no kata.
It is A Kata is land use approved for residential purpose. B Kata is revenue site or agricultural site. You are not supposed to build a house in the B Kata. There is nothing called B Kata. It's just a B register.
Just an entry in the register.
It's entered in the register for the collection purposes.
So that I understand. That I understand, sir.
But you are still on agricultural land.
B Kata doesn't exist actually legally.
Yeah,
that
B
is why you
Kata
can't
doesn't exist.
that is why
You
you
get
can't
B
issue
Kata
building plan
extract.
approval.
So, can we ask the BBMP commissioner to push for a update or amend the law to see that even those properties also, any property coming under BBMP should have the license to building plan?
No, this goes into the planning aspect. The problem is, see, the layout laws exist so that layouts are formed properly with proper amenities. So the problem with revenue sites is they don't have any amenities. They're just creating slums. So, which is why the law. So, unfortunately, these are missteps by the government. They shouldn't have allowed this to happen at all. So, I don't know how they're going to fix. We just have to live with all these slums around. Okay, so shall we wind up the meeting?
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you everybody for having joined. And a special
thanks to
Mr. Umapati and Mr. Mahesh.
Thank you, thank you very much.
Both agreed at very short notice, and both have enriched this conversation. And Katyayani madam, thanks to your contributions and the rest, everybody who participated. I hope possibly we'll make the list of recommendations we made, and we will send it out to whoever has registered for the meeting. If you'd like to co-sign the representations, you're more than welcome. And what we are also planning is we are hoping this will be the first in a series of discussions of public import like this. Hopefully, we'll do one on Rajakalways next week, and maybe we'll do one on illegal borewells because that's a burning issue, at least in peripheral areas. So I look forward to all of you participating. Last but not the least, I thank Sai and Arvind for having helped out in managing the meeting. Thank you, everybody. Hope to see you all again. Good night.
Good night. Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you.